What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and you're tapped into Continue or Nah, which is a series I created where I normally tell you whether or not you should continue watching a show, reading, or go check it out, or I say nah, I throw it in the trash and find something better to watch, read, or do. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Sakamoto days and Gachiakuta. So let's get into it. So, the reason why I decided to do Continue or Nah on Sakamoto days and Gachiakuta is because recently I have started to collect manga, and these two series are a part of like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series that I have decided to start collecting to build my manga collection. So I only have volumes 1 and 2 for Sakamoto days, and even though there's 17 volumes and I'm all caught up, when I tell you trying to find volumes 1 and 2 was like trekking through the tundra, but I got them. And I got super lucky that they had one copy at Books A Million of Gachiakuta, and I was excited because I didn't even know that they had started to serialize this series, and I purchased it. So now it's on my list to start collecting. I think Gachiakuta only has maybe 10 volumes, while again Sakamoto days has 17. But I wanted to discuss both of them in this video, mainly because I just recently found out the other day that Gachiakuta is getting a anime adaptation. It's supposed to be releasing in 2025, and then about a week ago they dropped the trailer for Sakamoto days, and that is supposed to be also be releasing in January of 2025. So let's talk about it. So let's talk about Sakamoto days. So it's supposed to be an action comedy series, and to its credit, it actually has gotten a few laughs out of me, and which is very rare because anime series or manga series that are marketed to be comedies never really make me laugh. I never find the humor in them. But in this series, I think they do a good balance of action, serious moments, and then comedy. Whereas I feel like when a series is just supposed to be a comedy series, it's like they want to make you laugh the whole entire time, but then there's really no plot or no point to the laughter. Whereas in Sakamoto days, it's weaved into the story where it is actually funny to me, which is rare. So a brief summary. So our main character is Taru Sakamoto. He was the ultimate assassin. Villains feared him. All the people who were hitmen admired him. He was basically like their idol, their god. And then one day he meets his wife, Ayo, who he falls in love with. And he decides, you know what, I don't want to live this life anymore. So he quits being a hitman. He decides to retire. He gets married. They have a daughter together. He gains a couple of pounds. And then he starts to run the neighborhood like bodega or a local like neighborhood store or convenience store. And you know, he's just living his life. Then one day somebody puts a hit or a bounty on his head, and now he's thrusted back into this world, and he meets up with old friends. He gains new friends, new allies, new mentees, and it's a really fun show. Like, I genuinely like this series. I really do. And that's saying a lot because a lot of the new manga series that have been coming out have not really pulled me in the way the old series have. Between Sakamoto days, Gachiakuta, and Dadan, those three are the three top for my week besides One Piece, where I get super excited when I see that they have updated. So I have a new chapter to read, and like I make sure I finish all the things I got to do so I can sit down, give me a drink, and reread and go back and forth. Like, it's been a long time since I've been able to sit down and read a series and then go back and reread it, unless it's a series that is dumping a lot of like exposition, or it's just like a very lore based chapter of manga. I'll read it one time and keep it pushing. But with these 3 series, I really will sit down and reread it maybe once, twice, even 3 times, because I just enjoy it. Especially with Sakamoto days, is because where I think the story was going definitely did not go down the road that I thought it was. and I have really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Like I enjoy the new characters that have been introduced to me. You have Shin, who is basically Sakimoto's like right hand man, or his new, like his mentee. He's clairvoyant, and when the bounty was, or the hit that was put out on Sakimoto's head, he was supposed to be the first. He was actually the first person that was supposed to come collect, but Mr. Sakamoto put him in his place. And ever since then, Shin wants to protect Sakamoto and allow him to live the life that he wants to live, which is being retired with his wife, with his daughter, working this convenience store. We then meet this girl named Lu, who is a daughter of the Triad, and Sakamoto and Shin end up helping her, and she decides, you know what? These my people now. And she's now a part of the crew. Then we have I call him he or High. He basically is a gunsman he a himbo. He is such a himbo, but he is extremely good at what he does. And we find out that he actually actually attends the school that Sakamoto and his friends used to go to, where they became elite assassins, and they call that the JCC. That arc, I can't wait till that's animated, because it was just so good to have a good backstory where we learned about Sakamoto. We learned about his close friend Nagum, who we actually meet in present day, who is still a part of the Order, which Sakamoto and Nagum joined together, where this is this elite force that pretty much they basically keep all the hitmen who have either like gone astray, or who become like serial killers, in check. And it's like the fight scenes, you got people in there slicing buildings in half with one slice. You have people with invisibility cloaks running up on people. You got a gun that talks in this. A man that has like, what is it? Is it agoraphobia? Who won't go outside, but he is an amazing marksman. And Nagum, I feel, is going to be a lot of girls like crushes, because he is just that guy, okay? His family was a family full of spies. He's an asshole. He's cocky, but he ain't got no problem taking people out. I love this series, and I'm just super, 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 super excited. So let's talk about Gachiakuta. So the series premiered in 2022 in February. It is now being serialized, so you should be able to purchase, I think, up to volume 2 now. Because I think volume 3 you can pre-order. I have volume 1, but I am about to go purchase volume 2 here soon. Basically, the series kind of reminds me of a movie that I watched, like I want to say in 2019 or 18, called Alita or Alia. No, I think it's Alita Battle Angel, where there is this city in the sky where the people who are most valuable live up top there, and down below is like the rejects of society. And it's similar to that, but it's also not the same. So basically, we do have this floating city in the sky. The people that live on Earth call it like heaven. They call the people that live up there either sky people or seraphim. And basically, our main character, his name is Rudo. He's like maybe 13 or 14 years old, and he lives on the sphere or heaven. And when you get to like you get the layout of heaven is heavily segregated. So you have the slums, and then you have the wealthy side or the rich side. It is divided with this huge wall. Rudo has this knack of fixing broken things. Like anything that he sees broken, he is able to fix it, or he is compelled to fix it. But he lives on the slum side. He doesn't have a family, but he has like an adoptive father who takes care of him. On the slum sides, everybody that is over there is technically a criminal. Like pretty much once you get kicked over to the slums, your family stays there for generations. It doesn't matter if they're good people or not, because that one person in your bloodline made that mistake, they kick you over there. But due to now this sphere being overpopulated, if you make one mistake or you do one thing that is deemed egregious, they throw you into the abyss. So the interesting about that concept of the abyss is, because the spear has been floating around the world for generations and decades, it's to the point that the people that live on the spear don't even know that they are floating like on a spear somewhat. They don't know anything beyond the abyss. They just see black, like they're surrounded by clouds and blackness. And they deem that once you get thrown off the spear, there's nothing out there for you and you subsequently die. Not understanding that for decades and generations, they've been throwing their trash on earth, polluting it, not knowing that there are people that live below them. Okay, so Rudo gets accused of something that he didn't do, and he gets casted off the spear into the abyss. He sees this one being who, I think they haven't touched upon it, but might be the creator of the spear, but we don't know. It's this huge being he sees, and then he hits Earth. He ends up in this no man's zone, surrounded by these trash beasts, or these abhorrent beasts. So basically, because of all the pollution and the trash, somehow people's thoughts and their negative emotions, or even positive emotions, but more so negative emotions that are casted into their trash, have been able to take on shape or form into these abhorrent beasts or trash beasts. So it is heavily polluted. People need masks. Rudo gets trapped there, but he is saved by Engine, who is a cleaner. So then the story takes off from there, where we find out that there are people that live on Earth who have the ability to turn like prized possessions or mementos that are full of strong emotions, whether they be positive or bad or negative. And some people who have the gift of giving, or who are givers, can turn their mementos or their possessions into weapons. Some of them decide to become a part of the cleaners or the janitors, who basically their job is to actually protect those who are being harmed or attacked in the safe zones by the abhorrent beast, or they actually help clean up after the heavens or the spear drops their trash. You also have those who also have the ability to be givers, who become bandits or vandals, who basically use their powers to like cause chaos and confusion on Earth. And then they are also the adversaries to the cleaners. I'm just excited for this series to have an anime. I feel like this is going to be a really big series, in the sense of like, I can see so many people cosplaying these characters, because there's a variety of characters. Also, one thing that I am looking forward to with reading this series is finding out more about the history of this world that the author has created. Like, again, nobody knows how long the spear has been roaming up in the skies. No one knows how the spear is in the sky and staying there. The fact that there's been so many generations on the spear, and nobody has the understanding that there are people that live below them, or the concept that there are people that live below them. They honestly think that they are the only ones in existence. And then you have those who live on Earth who have a very visceral hatred and disdain for those who live on the spear, because of their trash, they've polluted their Earth. They have created trash beasts, and they also have killed a lot of people with just throwing whatever down onto Earth. And it's just like, also we find out that Rudo might actually not be from the spear. His family might actually be from Earth. So then it's like, okay, if his family is from Earth, then how did they get up there? They still haven't answered that. They haven't even answered like how they have the ability to be givers. We also have this new introduction of this clan called the Hell's Guard, which one of the cleaners, his family has, I think either his clan or his family created the Hell's Guard, or they've always been Hell's Guards, but he chose to step away from that. And that dynamic is interesting because they don't play, but they are like givers with like ninjutsu, or like they are very like, it's samurai-esque, it's very like ninja-esque. Like I really enjoy this series, and I'm super super excited. Again, the same way I was excited about Sakamoto Days, I'm excited about Gachiakuta. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be brotherly authentic, and definitely hop down in them comments below and share your thoughts with me. Let me know if you have read Sakamoto Days or Gachiakuta. Also, do you plan on watching the anime when both of them come out in 2025? And yeah, y'all, I'm out. Deuces.